When building self-authored tests, we're increasingly getting requests for more innovative item types. The standard radio button item types can be very valid, but there are clients, publishers, and corporate organizations just looking for more innovative ways to deliver items. One of the ways we've responded to this is with our image placement item type. It's under the section right now for interactive and includes the hotspot, the sort. But if I were to add an image placement item type, it does take a little bit of thought to put together, but once you understand the constructs, it can be really powerful. So we're going to put directions here, and I'll come back to that. You have to choose the file that you're basing your question on in general. And I've created a pretty silly example here. Let's say I want to determine which pieces of candy are Snickers or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And I want someone to drag an image there to make it a little more interactive. So this could be something that could be used for a schematic. Put the proper wire here so that it shows that you understand how to build some type of network. That could be an example in IT or in engineering. So I have my silly candy example. Hopefully this will make sense. So you can click anywhere on this item and it will give you the coordinates. So let's say I want the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup to be one of our responses. It says from left 220, from top 169. So down here, I'm just going to put those numbers in, 220, 169. It becomes a little bit of trial and error, and you'll see as I kind of walk through this. And how big do you want that box that we're going to drop in to be? I'm going to call it 125 by 50, and we'll probably go in and change that. I also want to select this Snickers. So I'm going to pick this coordinate, and it's 40 and 241. So I've got 40 and 241. And this will make sense here in 1 second. I'll just keep my boxes the same size for now. And what we've said here is this is where we want to start each of our correct answers, but we haven't established all the pieces we need to set that up. We call these regions or places to drop images. Now I'm going to create some images that I can drop in. This is where you might have an image of a wire or an engineering schematic. In my silly candy example, let's use a star to drop in. And maybe we'll add another image and we'll call it a dot, which I've pre-selected here. So silly as this example is, it's probably going to make sense. So we can put some alternate text here, call this star and dot. Give it an export value, we could call this star or dot or A or B or 1 or 2 or whatever we want to do. And then we're going to say if you drop A or the star on the Reese cup, that's correct. And if you drop B or the dot on the Snicker, that is correct. And it's uploading those images, and then you can see here in this light green, this is the size of the box we've formed, and this is where our image placement will be. We can move this around if we want, and you'll end up dragging these to those spots. So we could say, oh, I want the Reese bar to go a little bit more to the left, this green box to encompass more of it. That's easy to do. What we can say is we want it to be more like right here, and that's 185, 172. So we just change this 185, 172. And we're probably going to have to make it a little wider. So we'll increase this to 150 and kind of see what it looks like now. So now we've gotten more of the Reese cup. It probably makes a ton of sense. I'm going to leave the Snickers the way it is. And let's check this out at runtime. So as I click view, it's building the test and it's going to show us what that looks like. So we need to put some directions in. Obviously I don't know what to do at this point. So a great thing would be to add directions at the top. We're going to say add the star to the Reese cup. And add the dot to the Snicker bar. All right, so if you're an engineer and we say add the Cat5 wire to the appropriate spot in this engineering diagram, this would make a lot more sense, but since we're not all engineers, we all kind of know candy. So we could say drag the star to the Reese cup, and we could say drag the dot to the Snicker bar. If you don't like the centering of that, you can make this box horizontally smaller. You could choose different images to drag in. If I did not like where that went, I can put these back in the box and switch them out. One thing I can't do in this current setup is drag multiples in there. So you can establish correctness based on whatever's put in here. So this is an example that we call image placement. It's useful when you need to visualize information and the understanding is not as simple as A, B, C, D. There needs to be some interaction.